Good luck, everyone.
Okay.
Hello, YouTube.
Halo YouTube.
Halo.
Hai Kak Mus, Kak Dian, Raffi.
Halo Gandhi. Halo.
Halo Kak Lili.
Halo everyone.
Hai Gandhi. Halo Pak Zaki, Mr. Zaki.
Hello. Can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you guys. Okay, how are you guys today?
Just fine, just fine.
Fine ya. Okay, alhamdulillah. So yes, is there any first time come here today? Welcome to Britzone. Welcome to the Britzone English Betterment Series on Wednesday class. So yes, hi Gandhi. Okay. So yes, thank you guys for coming tonight. Is there anyone wants to say something today before we start the class? Maybe I want to greet Kak Lily. Hi Kak Lily.
Hi.
Are you first timer tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So from where you know Britzone?
Sorry, can you repeat?
So from where you know Britzone, Kak Lily?
From Instagram, especially from my tutor English in Pare, Kak Amdal. He recommended this community.
Okay, so thank you and welcome to Britzone. Okay, hello Pak Yayan, Kak Yogi. Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, Kak Yogi, Kak Yaya, Pak Yayan, and Kak Iin. We have a lot of names start from Y ya. Yayan, Iin, Yogi. Okay. Okay. So yes, guys, thank you and welcome to Britzone. Do you guys still remember about the topic tonight? Why you are joined to tonight class, guys? Hi, Raki, Mus. We also find some committee here. Is there anyone wants to share the reason why you come in tonight class? Is there anyone wants to share?
Hello, Miss Fanny.
Hi, Kariski. To understand people culture. Okay, so yes, our special speaker and guest is already in the middle of us, guys. If you are realized, yeah. Okay, so yes, thank you and welcome, Kak Firzi. Okay.
Thank you.
So yes, I'm going to show a little announcement about Britzone, guys. Hopefully you will enjoy tonight's class. Okay, so yes, here is the announcement. Okay, welcome to the largest English community in Indonesia. Yay! So this is the free English community, yeah. You don't need to pay to join every classes of Britzone. So yes, and next slide. Yeah, we are English education and we are free platform and also we are best volunteer best. So we deserve several classes. So yeah, you will see our classes. This is our first classes, Britzone Speaking Academy. So it was yesterday. Is there anyone in here join yesterday class? Do you guys join?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I
course.
saw. I saw several face, yeah, like Kak Mus and also Rizky. And yeah, some of you are joined yesterday classes, yeah. Okay, so yes, nice to see you again tonight. And we are here in Britzone English Betterment Series on Wednesday class. Yay! So yeah, we're going to be focused on speaking tonight, talk about the international environment, yeah, especially in professional. And we also have the last classes on Saturday at 11 a.m. So this week, if we are free on the weekend and you have no idea what to do, you can join our online class at 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. So 2 hours. And this is our social media, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. This one is Clubhouse, and also our website and some of the okay, I'm kind of forget. Can you guys help? Spotify. Yes, so this one is a Spotify, right? So yes. Have you guys follow our Instagram and support us?
Sure.
Yes, we did. We followed that already.
Already.
Thank
Sure,
you,
since
guys.
3 years ago.
Ah, yeah, I think Britain it's already exists more than 10 years, yeah. So yeah. Okay, next, please support us to keep access by buying or bought our merchandise. We have this, the t-shirts, and also we have the tote bag, so and the notebook, and this is the pin. So maybe if we are meeting in a public transportation or public places, we can greet each other, right? And next, we are sponsored by the Library of Ministry Education and Culture. If we are back to the offline class, maybe we can see each other in this library, right? In Sudirman, yeah. Under the Ministry Library of Education. And this is the after class tradition. We're going to take picture together, so your face will be captured, yeah, on our Instagram. So yeah, thank you so much. So yes, that's all about Britzone community. Okay, so now are you guys ready?
You're so ready, Kak.
Thank you,
ready,
Kanisa. By the way, Kak Firzi, we have the various member tonight. We have Gandhi. So Gandhi is the student elementary school, right? Hi, Gandhi.
Hi.
Thank you for joining tonight class.
Hi, that's awesome.
How old are you, Gandhi? If we can know.
I'm 11.
11 years old. And also we have the senior, but with the yacht power, Mr. Yayan. Hello, Mr. Yayan.
Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Mr. Yayan.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys. So let's jump to our main station. Is there anyone still remember about the topic or the title tonight? Come on, guys.
Is it about multicultural communication? If I'm not
Multicultural.
mistaken.
And also that is the keywords in there is the foreign embassy. Can you guys guessing what's the embassy is it? Turkish or African? Indonesian? Can you guys guessing which embassy is it?
Must be like the U.S. Embassy. Independence Day of 4th of July.
Okay, let's find out, yeah. Let's find out. So yes. Okay. So something that I know from our speaker tonight. So she said earlier, if actually working in an embassy, it's the same like the government. I mean, maybe like the government employee, but this one is I could say higher level because it's international, right? It's global. So yeah. So please welcome Kak Firzi, Director Customer Service at US Embassy. Thank you, Kak Nisa.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so yes, the title is Navigating Multicultural Environment. Okay. Yeah, the first slide, this slide, Kak Firzi. Do you want to share something by this slide and share with us? Yeah.
Sure. So I think that everyone is going to find out that I actually work for the US government. Although what I'm about to convey today is not the opinion of the institution where I work for, but basically just sharing about my experiences working for, like my personal experience working in an international environment, which is the environment that I'm currently working for. And since the place that I work is very multicultural. I mean, it's a melting pot. People from all over the world with different cultural backgrounds is present in my working environment. So what I think, this is kind of a stereotyping. So I think all throughout this session, we're kind of going to be stereotyping a bit. And we try not to stereotype people, of course, because it discriminates a little bit. But I think that it is important to see also the extreme of cultures so that we understand the way people think and the way people solve problems and approach every aspect of life. So this is one of the key points that kind of what I observed where I work. As you can see, this is a metaphor, and it's kind of, I would say, very extreme metaphors. And sometimes we like to place ourselves just right in the middle. So as you see the picture, the one with the carriage, I think those are cows, right? Cows with children. Can you guess where do you think that is? Is it something familiar that you see?
In the village, maybe.
In the village? Where? In which part? I mean, not in which part. In which country do you kind of see this?
Indonesia.
Indonesia, definitely, right? Definitely in Indonesia. So the metaphor that I came up with is that Indonesians, we enjoy the ride. We like taking things slowly. We have even a proverb that says that it is, please correct me if I'm wrong, alon-alon asal kelakon, it's Javanese, right? So it's taking things slowly, taking things very, very slowly, sometimes too slow. It's about, we don't care how long we get there, as long as we get there, even if it takes an hour, 2 hours, a week, a month. Well, alon-alon asal kelakon. As long as we have and reached our goal, it's fine. Now, versus the other part of the world, which is more of the Western culture, where actually time is money, right? As you can see, the people in the subway over there is very crowded, and they always try to think that what's important is the end result. We don't care how we get there. We can get there by car, by bus, I don't care, but as long as the result is there, we have the goal is reached, and we don't care about it. We don't care how we get there. So more of all that, enjoying the ride is, the process is more important, and going for the goal is the end result. So process-oriented people versus more of result-oriented people. I have to say that no culture is better than the other. There is no worse or better culture. We are the same. But what's important is to know that how we approach issues and problems, okay, and how I would say how we make decisions. People approach problems in different ways. People make decisions in different ways, but we all have the same goal. Okay? We all have the same goal. So it doesn't matter how the process is, or I would say, or how the decision-making process and how we look at problems. I think people in life have the same goal. So these are just different ways of showing that everyone is different and people have different ways of seeing things, of seeing issues in life, and also how to make decisions in life. So I think I think the main view of working in a multicultural environment is seeing this aspect of life.
So we can adjust the both of principle, or the both of mindset, maybe.
Yes, so we have, it's more of accepting people's way of thinking. We know that our goals are the same. So if you work in an environment, in a multicultural environment or an institution like where I work, we know that we all have the same goal, because normally when you're in one organization, the goal is the same. We want to reach a certain product. We want to reach a certain goal. Just say like joining Britzone right here, you have a certain goal at the end, which is probably, I'm just saying this out loud, is to, improve your English. But it doesn't matter how you do it, right? How you overcome your issues in speaking English. People like to join, people like to talk, people are more silent, but as long as the goal is reached and achieved, then it doesn't matter. So the way to work in a multicultural environment, that's how we have to look at it, is that our goals are the same. It's just that the way of thinking is different. How we approach and we decide, we make decisions is different. And you might place yourself like right in the middle, because we always love to be in the middle, right? We're not left or right, we're just right there in the middle. And it's true.
The neutral.
Yeah, and it's true, because sometimes I approach problems the Indonesian way, because sometimes I like step-by-step process. But then in some certain areas, I don't care how I do it, as long as I achieve what I do, I achieve my goals.
So okay, so something that I get from the statement that Kak Firzi said. So it's actually about the adapt as an Indonesian working in a multicultural company, especially in USA, right? I mean, it's the power country. So yeah, so the mindset and the alon-alon asal kelakon need to be adjusted to be about the goals, how to reach the goals. Is it right?
I wouldn't say that alon-alon asal kelakon is something bad or something that is, I would say, lower, or how you say in a negative way. In some certain ways, alon-alon kelakon is useful, because people sometimes need to know how you get to that decision. And you could, sometimes I have to state it out when working, is that I have to show them how I got to my decision so that they can accept my ideas. And going through the alon-alon asal kelakon is one way of showing people that this is how I did it, through A, B, C, and D. And in some ways, they don't care. The Americans I work with, sometimes they don't care. They don't, I don't care how you do it, as long as you present me with this result. Right? So it depends on the issues that are you're facing, and depends who you are facing, of course. But there is no way of saying that this way is better than the other. It's being sensitive and knowing who you're dealing with. I think that's also the key.
Okay, so thank you, Kak Firzi. Okay, so maybe we can jump to the next slide, Kak Firzi. Time is money by this statement. What do you want to share to us? Yeah.
So most of all, when Americans always say that time is money, very result oriented. They don't care. The faster you do it, the better, right? And so deadlines are always set. Deadlines are always set. You know how to. You have to know when to finish it. And the one of the things with working with Americans is that if you can't meet the deadline, you have to say it, and you have to be honest about it, because even if your work is done nicely, perfectly, 100% perfect, but the deadline is passed, you did not make the deadline, it's not useful anymore.
Okay.
So that's the point, is that if you don't have anything, if you think that your work is not going to meet the deadline, that's where you have to adjust, and you have to be honest with them and saying that, of course, you can't finish the deadline. I think this is something that needs more time. And so the goal can be adjusted, because sometimes goals in work and life change. Always. It always changes. It's always flexible. It's never set on stone. These can be flexible. These can be very flexible. So if work is not done, goals can also be adjusted. And being flexible, and knowing to be honest. That you have to be honest with your work is very important.
So the statement, it's actually remind me with, if we are failed to pass the deadline of skripsi, so we can't graduate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah. So
that is a very good example, right? So even if you do it perfectly, but you pass the deadline, sorry, you have to wait another year, right, to graduate, right?
Yes.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. Perfect example.
Thank you. So yes, the importance of professional relationship, ya Kak ya, especially when we work as a major. So yeah, we need to divide despite of our personal issues. Yeah.
So you're talking about the next slide, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So relationships are important, of course, as you all know already, especially those that are in a work already and have a career. The thing is, what's different with most of our relationship here in Indonesia is that we tend to kind of mix the relationship between what is personal and what is professional. In where I work, it's very well divided. So my boss can yell at me and be very harsh and criticize me, but then after the meeting, he or she can go, okay, Firzi, let's have lunch and coffee together. So it's as if nothing happened. But I'm Indonesian. I sometimes take things by heart. I'm not really sentimental or emotional, but sometimes when somebody gets mad at me, I take it home, which that's what the Americans don't do, is that they don't take things home. They don't take their personal feelings about work home. So they really divide it, and they know. So you can have your boss yell at you in the morning, and then all of a sudden, no, let's just have lunch and catch up with personal life. So and I think that in some ways it's a good factor, because this is how we're supposed to live. It's like we don't have to bring everything to our heart, and we don't have to think about it all the time and bring it home and not sleep with and actually make you not sleep at all, right? They're very good at always dividing between professional and personal
life.
And
less baper ya Kak.
Exactly.
Less baper.
And if you have a good relationship with someone, it does not mean that they can do favors for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're really good buddies with your boss. My American boss is so nice, and then all of a sudden she goes back to America for vacation, and I said, oh, you know what, I really need this thing that you can bring me back from the US. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't mean
it doesn't mean that they can do something nice for them, and they might not be able to help you if you, for example, break the law. So if you do something wrong at work, even if you have a very good relationship with your boss, you do something wrong at work and it'll cost you your job, you'll get fired anyway. And I've seen that happen. Happen. It's because you broke this law that is already this rule that's in our handbook, for example. Then yeah.
Okay. Don't expect about more holiday. Even the boss is good or kind with us.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where actually where professional and personal are very well divided.
Okay. So yes, thank you, Kak Firzi. Guys, I think we're going to relax for a while. I'm going to show you the video about how the US Embassy Instagram. Have you guys check it their Instagram?
No.
Not yet. Okay, we're going to relax, guys. We're going to see the video. So this is the first video. Can you guys hear the voice?
Not yet, Kak.
Not yet.
Okay.
Oops.
What's that? That's a video.
Okay. Is there anyone here come from Padang? Is there anyone here come from Padang? Kak Ulan maybe ya? Are you from Padang, Kak Ulan?
I'm from Jambi, Kak.
Oh, Jambi. Oh, the neighbor. A little bit similar accent. Okay. And the next video is how to get interview. I mean, okay. Interview tips. This one is Kak Firzi, right?
Mau tahu lagi nggak pertanyaan yang sering diajukan pas interview kerja di US Embassy Jakarta? Tonton sampai habis ya.
So why should we hire you?
Why not? Ready to sit down.
I love America, Pak. I want to go to America. So please hire me, ya. I don't know. Why you should hire me? I mean, you're hiring, right? Why did you ask me this question? I mean, no. So, for the question of why should we hire you? Again, there's a good answer for this. Why should we hire you and not any of these other people? Well, convince me of the following. You can do the work exceptionally well. You'll hit the ground running. What makes you stand out from all the other people? What makes you stand out from the crowd? Experience, experience, and experience. And last, you understand our organization and can help us contribute to our goals. That shows me passion and results.
I have all the necessary skills that you need to be superstars in this role. I have a professional writing background, and I also have networks with the leadership of the government in Indonesia as well. I'm also passionate about public
diplomacy. Okay, guys. Okay, Okay, so yes, thank you. Thank you for, hopefully you enjoy the watch video, yeah? Okay, now we're going back. By the way, guys, are you interested to apply in US Embassy? It's very cool job, right?
Well, it's cool when it's cool. No, just kidding. But,
on my perspective,
if you're like, if I think working in any multicultural environment is a plus, I would say, because you get to experience more than just Indonesian culture and an Indonesian work environment. You get to meet so many people and experience, and it's like a bit of traveling, because then you get to know their habits and what they do, what they say, how they say stuff, what they eat, their just daily habits. So I mean, it could be anywhere as long as it's in a multicultural environment. And I think the more variety and the more differences that you see in people is when you learn. That's where actually you can learn. And I would say that the interview tips, it's a serial. So there's more to come, and there's also another episode like 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. So
Okay, yes, thank you, Kak Firzi, ya. And the spoiler, guys, the US Embassy is open the vacancy, not vacation, open the vacancy every Friday, right? Yeah, Kak
yes,
Firzi.
that's what the Instagram says. It's every Friday.
Okay, so don't forget to follow US Embassy Instagram, yeah. Okay, if you want to looking for the vacancy that open, maybe the information, yeah. Okay, now guys, we're getting started to the main session, the talk show. So please prepare your pencil or notebooks or pen, anything. If you need, if you find any important notes, you can write it down. Okay, directly. Now, Kak Firzi, you already tell us about your opinion about the 3 slides previously. Now, can you please share us about how you start your career as to work in US Embassy? Yeah.
How I started my career. I would say like any other people who started their career, started very small. But I have to say this, that if you plan on working in a multicultural environment, I would have to say the language is the most important thing that you need to master. A fluency is better. Middle fluency is fine, but the way I started my job is because I can speak English, and that was the key. I actually, when I applied, I didn't know what I had to do, because it was way back. Mind you, that this is not like 5 years ago. It's like 22 years ago.
Okay.
So it's a different kind of situation back then. We didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have Twitter, we don't have any of those social medias, and vacancies are only we only can see just when word of mouth or in newspapers. So yeah, I applied like anyone else, and just like anyone else, I would applied for the job. I think I aced the interview because they did like my my answers, and English is the key. English is the key. Being confident in speaking English is even better, and just make sure that yeah, you start off really well. And just by having that English skill is a very big plus, and that's no matter where you work. It doesn't even have to be at the US Embassy. But I think learning a foreign language is very important. So yeah, I see a few questions on the chat box, and someone said
it's okay, Kat. We can answer directly. Yeah.
So yeah, there's Zaki who says open vacancy every Friday. It's just an advertisement, I think. So they can, as long as the vacancy is open, there is they announce it every Friday until it's filled. So yeah, and 22 years already. Yes, Nisa, you're 22 years. Believe it or not, sometimes time flies, and mastering things when you try to apply for a job. yeah, mastering things. Actually, the only thing that I master is the greatest skill that I had at that time was just English. But I put that into an advantage. Because of my fluency in English, I started doing, taking other stuff, started wanting to speak in public, doing ad hoc jobs, like being a master of ceremony, for example, and many other things, taking into getting engaged with other community activities. If there's a happy hour, I would join, or if there's volunteer, I would go along. So master each job, there's always a skill that you have to master. If you're an engineer, you have to be good at engineering. If you're a secretary, you have to be good in Microsoft Office, of course, and typing. If you're an IT person, you have to know all that. So it's just like a normal job if you have to apply for a job. And I think all the jobs right now that are, I think all the employers, I wouldn't say job, I would say employers, all the employers, what they're looking for, number one is the skills, of course, that has the basic skills, but also the language. I think it's very important. If you have that English ability, fluency, that is a plus. And I'd have to say, I know all of you, some of you are very, very young, and so some of you are in probably university students, right? We have interns at our office, and I can say the level of English of these interns in the office is incredible. Some actually have never been abroad before, and they've only learned English in Indonesia. They never lived abroad overseas, but actually I can take them for an American speaking. So it's you don't have to live abroad. Living abroad and overseas with international exposure is better, and it will give you an advantage, a competitive advantage, but it's not mandatory, because you actually can stay in Indonesia, learn English, and you have all these wonderful, I've met all these wonderful students that are interning and they speak English as fluent as any American. So something that is very astonishing for me.
Okay. Kak Firzi, talk about the advantage of English and also the job. I'm curious with Gandhi because he's very young, right? And Gandhi, what is your future job? What is your dream job? Do you also want to work in USA, Gandhi?
Well, I don't know. I just don't want to be a pilot or something, huh?
Okay, you want to be a pilot. Do you want to fit USA maybe?
I guess I think USA is pretty interesting.
Okay, so yeah, hopefully you can reach your dream, yeah, Gandhi. Yeah.
Gandhi, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
How did you learn English? From school?
Well, pretty kind of my English are from school, and sometimes I also speak in clubhouse, and when I play games, I usually use voice chat, which is kind of improving my English a little. And I like to challenge myself by watching some English speaking YouTuber without using the subtitle itself.
Okay.
That's a very good method in learning English.
So you are in the right way, yeah. And so happy to see the young children that are interested in English, the Indonesian. Maybe the next Agung Hapsah nih, Gandhi. Okay, next. Okay, we jump to the next question, yeah, guys. How is work in environment foreign embassy? For sure, I just guessing you are very happy, yeah, because you still look young.
Being happy is the key to staying young, right? That's a bit true. Yes. The work environment, I kind of explained it earlier of how things are in where I work. Again, it's a very multicultural English is the main language, of course, but we still stay true to our roots, of course. We like still eating Indonesian food. And a lot of my colleagues also are interested more in Indonesia. So sometimes it's actually we have a more Indonesian environment in some ways. Although we see that we can see that there's a lot of more of the international flavor when we work. But it is a very, how do I say it, a place where rules, I think, are implemented, and safety and security are top priority, I would say. Again, this is just my personal opinion, based on what I see. But we take our job seriously, and if something is wrong, there are consequences. So it's a happy working place because you get to meet a lot of different people. And the thing about embassy, and I'm not just talking about the US embassy, it's about all embassies worldwide. So if you happen to work for an embassy one day, either whether it's Italian embassy or Malaysian embassy or Singaporean or even the Dutch embassy, there's one thing that is nice about it, is that you don't have to have the same boss every 22 years. So because diplomats, they come and go, right? And this goes all for everyone, for all embassies. Diplomats come and go. You meet different kind of people every time, and it's something regular. Like some people have, some embassies probably have a 3-year assignment or a 2-year assignment, and or even 4 years or 5 years, and every now and then we see different people. So you don't actually see the same people for 22 years.
For sure.
So that's that adds a little bit of flavor and variety in life, right? I mean, you have, I don't know how many bosses I've changed like probably
8,
10 maybe.
10.
Yeah, 10 or 10ish. Yeah, 10, maybe 8 to 10. I forgot. I stopped counting because there were just too many. In the beginning, I counted, I had this boss, and I like this boss. And then at the end, okay, never mind. I'm not going to count because they change every so and so year. So that is the environment, every change of people. The people you deal with are different from not only your boss, but the people that are working with you different. There are local staff that are work here like me for more than 20 years. We don't change. But imagine if the people that you work with, the Americans or the Italians or whoever, if you're in an embassy, they come and go. They leave, they come, and then they start, of course, they have another set of ideas. They have another set of cultural, for example. So there's always that challenge of meeting of something new. Of facing something new, of facing a different goal each time, communicating in a different way. Because, for example, my boss likes it this way, so this is how I'm going to address her, or how I'm going to communicate with her or him. But then I change boss and say, oh, she doesn't or he doesn't like it this way, so I have to change it. Maybe one is very talkative and one is not very talkative. So people say that Americans are very outspoken. I would extreme. And if you take it extreme, yes, they are very outspoken. Again, we're very stereotyping here. But if you're like, people are always somewhere in the middle, and you find quiet Americans that don't say a lot. And that's when that's when I have to change my communication strategy. And how do I communicate with someone that is so silent and never say anything? So, it's a challenge, and the work environment is the same as any other. And the only difference is that we don't get to have the same boss every for the whole set of life where we work there.
Okay. Being adaptive is very needed. Yeah.
Being adaptive, flexible, and open-minded, I think.
Okay. adaptive, flexible, and open-minded. Okay, so it might be the strength point that I can answer in interview. Thank you for the spoiler, Kak. Okay, so yes, Kak Firzi. So guys, by the way, after this question, we're going to open the Q&A maybe for 2%, yeah. So you can think what you want to ask to Kak Firzi. So this is the third question, Kak Firzi. What makes you stay working with the foreign embassy? You already answered some, yeah.
Kinda, I did. What makes me stay? I think it's more of, again, the environment, of course, of working with different people each time. The chance also in, let's see, I think I had a very good opportunity to travel a lot. And even though, well, pandemic wise, it didn't allow me to travel for just 2 years, but so this meeting different people from going traveling, doing the work, and meeting different kind of people and seeing their culture directly is something that of course motivates me to work and stay. And not everyone has that opportunity, and I'm very grateful for that. But one of the I think the main point is the variety and the challenging work environment.
Okay, so yes, thank you, Kak Firzi. We're going to open the question maybe for 2%. Mr. Zaki is already raised hand, yeah. Okay, Mr. Zaki, you can ask Kak Firzi directly.
Okay.
Do you want to ask something?
Okay. Okay, thank you. Actually, I wrote it on the chat box, but I cannot repeat it again. Is it okay? Okay. The question is: Do Americans speak English in the correct way? In terms of grammar. Most of the American,
Most of the Americans, I would say mostly yes. Mostly yes, because they have spoken English since elementary school, and but they make mistakes. They do make mistakes. And it's normal. People make mistakes all the time. And the mistake is that because I think we do a lot of speaking English rather than writing English. And grammatically, if you're writing, you have to be right always. And we're more careful when we write. But as for speaking, as long as the message is conveyed, sometimes America, nobody cares about the grammar as long as it's conveyed. But I would have to say that when they do speak, they speak so fast that we sometimes don't even see their error. But mostly people do. I would say people do. They make one or two mistakes, I'm sure. And I do have to say that there are a few, I would say, immigrants that are Americans. I mean, there's American citizens and immigrants, but there are some that are very fluent in English because they returned to elementary school, but there are also some that I would say that haven't have started speaking English since maybe I would say I wouldn't say not until since they're elementary school, but since they're teenagers. But mostly they do, because that's the part of the job is they have to.
I'm just guessing because I most sorry to interrupt. Because I'm just guessing because mostly I watch American in like Afro American, like they are not. I think they are not speaking English American English, right? I think they just speak American. That's my opinion. Is that so?
Yeah, the thing is, exactly. So the thing is with they speak so fast, And there's a difference kind of, I think there is a slight difference between the English grammar, and maybe there is American grammar too. But between British and English, of course, there are some slight differences. And they can be notable. And sometimes the theory that we learn, usually in Indonesian schools, is not American English, it's British. So they take the spelling and some of the grammar from the British perspective, and Americans have another set of rules in speaking. So I would say yes, it is actually, if you think there is something wrong and you think that they don't speak correctly, yes, but is it according to British grammar or American grammar?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zaki.
That's a good question, actually. And I'm very curious. Maybe one day, if you can, drop me a message and say if you hear something, there's something incorrect in English, drop me a message and ask me, because I'd be curious to know what kind of error or what kind of incorrect grammar that you have heard.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Back to you again, Miss Fanny.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for the answer.
Mr.
Thank
Zaki.
you.
Okay, maybe one question before we jump to the fourth question, Ika. So the question is from Rizky. What is the challenging that you experienced during work there?
What is the challenge? What is the biggest challenge you meant, right? The biggest challenge is it's like I think everyone's challenge is dealing with the people. Because people is always a big factor. Change is a factor, because as like I said, people change every year or so. And what's most challenging is trying to adapt every 2 years. It's great for our self-development and professional development, but it gets tiring at some point where you have such a good relationship, professional and personal, with this person, but then he's not going to stay, or she's not going to stay there forever, right?
Yeah.
He's going to leave, and then comes in, and then all of a sudden he's not as nice, or she's not as nice, or then I have to start from zero. Can you imagine that we the most challenging is actually getting someone, a new boss or a new colleague. It doesn't even have to be a boss, a new colleague, and we have to start from zero, building a relationship with this person professionally, especially personally on the side. But again, both. Yeah. Actually, Diane asked a question, and that was before in the chat box. So I felt bad because she asked first, and I thought you were going to Diane's question.
Okay, so yes.
I don't know if you. I mean, I can answer later if we have time, but I just want to note that.
Okay, so yes, maybe we jump to the fourth question first. Okay. So yes, this one, any tips how to start career to work at the foreign embassy and how to deal with the environment. So this one, it's included Dian question, Kak. Share your 22 years experience to work in US embassy.
My memorable experience, or how to start a career. How do I start a career? The most memorable is being able to travel and to actually visit the countries you actually don't know exist. That really happened. I was assigned to a country where I didn't know it exists. It was a part of an ex-Russian country. I don't know if you're familiar with the name Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, Kyrgyzstan.
From
part of Russian?
Yeah, it was a part of ex-Russian. I didn't know how I didn't even know that country existed. I have to say. My geography is very, very bad. So I think that one of the memorable experiences is being able to get there and experience the culture itself. And it was, mind you, it's a Muslim country, Kyrgyzstan, and it was very cold at that time. And the memorable experience is that I can't believe I never knew this beautiful culture in this country, and having to experience it in winter coming to spring was something very memorable for me. And meeting the people, it's the first time ever that I have to dealt with I would say the Eastern Europe culture or the Russian culture. And I never, because I'm always working with the Southeast Asians mostly, Southeast Asian Americans, Europeans, and it was the first time I have to deal with that part of the world. And I think that taught me a lot, how very outspoken they are, how and there's another side of Islam. There's another side of a country where the population is mostly Muslims, but I didn't see a mosque. Maybe because it's an ex-Russian country, but that is something memorable, and it's something that has opened my mind and my eyes, saying that there's more to my little world. There's so much more to be discovered, and I've traveled a lot, but I've never been to that part of the country, and it intrigues me to kind of learn more about parts of this world that I've never been to.
Okay. So.
Yeah, and the tips to start a career is actually just be confident, and be confident speaking English. I think that's the most important thing.
Okay, start from join Britzone maybe. I mean, it's start to build the confidence in speaking English, right? So yeah, start from the baby step. Yeah, maybe.
Baby steps, exactly. Baby steps is always better than no steps at all.
Yeah, agree. Okay, hopefully it will answer Kak Dian the question, yeah, the summary of questions. Okay, next maybe how about the specific requirement? It's also answered the question of Kak Haikal or Kak Hu, yeah.
Well, the specific requirements are in the advertisement. So if it's an engineering position, which we have, it's of course it's you're required to have the skills, right? Make sure that you fulfill all the requirements. There's nothing specific. It's not as different as any other job you're applying for. There's a certain level of English, of course, that you have to master for certain jobs. But again, specific requirements, it depends on the job. It's case by case basis. So it's just like any other job you're applying for. When you apply for a job, the first thing you see is the requirements, right? And then the experience. And so it's nothing specific. It's just the same job as any other job that you apply for. And actually, if you go through the Instagram, I think, and I forgot if it's a video or I think it's a video. There was an IG live that Instagram live that I was part in it too. And if you have these kind of questions, you can just take a look at that video, and it actually answers some of it about the work environment. And it talks about some of it talks about what I'm talking right now. So there's nothing secret or anything, but if you browse and take a look at the Instagram, there's a part where about an IG live about tips and tricks or working at how it feels working at the embassy. So yeah.
Okay. So is it possible to apply in embassy even the major or our major like university is different with the vacancy that open? Is it possible to still apply, Kak Firzi?
Requirements are requirements. If they ask you for a master's degree, but you're only a bachelor, definitely you're gonna get kicked out. So so if they ask for social studies, then mostly that's when they say social studies, I think it covers every degree, but it doesn't always have to be international relation. I don't have an international relation degree. I have a computer science degree. As my bachelor, and for my master's, I have an economic master's of management degree. So I have no clue what international relations is. Everything is, I guess, it's all about learning by doing. A degree is important, of course, but it doesn't have to be international relations. And of course, that depends on the job you're applying for. But there are certain jobs that do require international relation degree.
And maybe the previous experience is also can support with the job that we applied. Okay, sure. Thank you, Kak Firzi. Okay, guys, now we're going to open the FGD session. So wake up. You will go to the your facilitator. Yeah, so this is the FGD session. We have 2 questions. Have you ever been in a culture shock situation? Please share the experience if you had. And maybe Gandhi, you can learn a lot from us, hopefully, and how to deal with it. So yes, our friends, Dina, will help to lead the session and break us to several groups. Dina?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So I will assign you guys to 3 different rooms, and for those of you who's remain in the main room will be on our YouTube live stream. Okay, let's go, guys. See you guys in a minute.
See you guys. Enjoy the breakout room session. Okay, so yeah. Okay, it's actually I honestly interested to apply, but sometimes I feel not confident, Kak Firzi. So yeah, maybe I should deal with that first.
Well, it's always worth trying. You'll never know until you try, right?
Oh yeah. But maybe the question, is it very hard until the interview? I mean, as we know, the embassy has several security, right, to enter. So yeah.
I don't know about, I can't talk about security. I'm not really sure. But I think that the first thing that they will see is your skills and what you can do. So it's just like any other job. Maybe there is an extra layer of security, but I am sure it's just like any other company, any other institution. There must be a health check, right? For I'm sure that those who are actually employees right now know that when you apply to an institution or organization, that there are some layers of steps that you have to go through, that you have to succeed. Maybe first is the English test, for example, and then second is the interview, and then you get shortlisted for a writing skills test, and then after that you have you're in, and then they negotiate salary, and you do the health check, and there's different layers like that, I'm sure, for every company.
Okay. As we know, in the private company, especially, we have like user interview. But is it in embassy also the same, Kak? The user embassy? Oh yeah.
User interview, yeah, like the IG, the video that you just see. There's interview, definitely.
Okay, the same, yeah. So the user interview will be we need to pass. I mean, okay. So yeah, we're going to jump to the FGD session. So maybe can I ask Annie? So Annie is the committee of Britzone, and I think she's also interested in work in embassy for sure, especially foreign embassy. Yeah.
So funny, you read my mind.
Yes, Annie, please, maybe you can share your experience and how to deal with it. Get the heart of Kak Firzi, Annie. Okay.
I'm not sure because I never experienced, I never go outside Indonesia. So I don't have specific experience in dealing with culture shock, and so I don't know. I don't have answer for this, but I actually have question for Kak Firzi.
Sure.
Kak Firzi, I love your English, Kak. It sounds, crunchy and just natural. Natural. How long did you how long does it take to to speak that fluent, Kak Firzi?
Okay. I should have kind of introduced myself first about how my educational background.
Yeah.
But I got to say that this is something I have a very in my life I'm very privileged, I have to say, and I am what we call I don't know if you know this term, a third cultural kid. So during my childhood until my teenage years, I lived abroad. My parents were diplomats, and I was born in Switzerland. I was born in Geneva, and then we moved to Canada. And this is the key, that when you are actually Gandhi's age, that is when you have to be exposed to English. That is the best years. That is the best. But I'm not saying that everyone is late. No, it's not too late for you guys. Trust me, it's not. But those years are the best years when you are exposed to other culture and also other languages. And this is because I said to myself, I'm a third cultural kid because I'm no longer a kid. But during my years as a kid, I was exposed to three cultures. First of all, the culture of my parents, which is Indonesia, the culture of the host country, which is where I lived at that time, and of course, the culture of the multicultural of my friends that I have, because I was in an international school, and you have people from Africa, you have people from India and Vietnam, and you got all these melting pot. So that's what a third culture kid is that there are three cultures that you have to deal with, and it's called kid because, of course, it's when you are exposed to that. Although in adult life we can. So for saying how long, it actually just took me. Let's see, I was in Canada, and that's where I got most of my English. Like 4 years, I was there 4 years, and after that, yeah, I think that was the key. That was the key of getting, gaining the knowledge of English, the skills, the accent, and when my Americans say, how did you get your English? What I would say, I lived in Canada, and Canada has a different accent actually. And people say that I actually have a very American accent. When I told them, oh yeah, I used to have a Canadian accent, but because of your Hollywood movies that I keep watching, I absorb the Hollywood accent, American accent. So it is actually not too late for those that are not third cultural kids, but I think it's never too late to always learn new language, to see YouTube videos. I actually have a Vietnamese friend, and he speaks just like me. I think even better. And guess what? He never lived abroad either. He never lived abroad. And he's Vietnamese. And I said, how did you learn English? And he said, how is your accent so American? And he said, oh, I play games, online games. I play online games and I watch YouTube videos. And that was the kid. So I think it's not just, if you haven't lived in a country, an English speaking country, the thing is, we live in an era where we are so exposed to so many things easily. Surround yourself with everything that is English. Watch English movies without subtitles. Read English books. Speak English at home. And I have to tell you, I have two teenage sons, and they never lived abroad. They never lived abroad. They're not third cultural. They weren't as lucky as I am to be a third cultural kid, but they speak English. And because at home, me and my husband we always speak English at home. Always speak English at home. And I'm lucky also that my husband is also a third culture kid. He lived in Australia once. So we speak English. So it's a very English speaking environment at home. And we the best we can, we speak English. My kids don't go to a fancy bilingual school, though they do speak English at school, but they watch American movies without subtitles. They play games, of course, like any other teenage boys at their age. Yeah, and we and during dinner we always talk English and about world issues, so whatever it is. Yeah, so it's never too late. It is best when you're Gandhi's age to be exposed, but I think it's very much likely possible to obtain your English skills in language, of course, during this time, even as an adult. As the best as possible is to expose yourself to whatever. You want to learn English, expose yourself to English. You want to learn French, expose yourself to French, and think in English, think in French, or think in other languages that you wish to be fluent in.
And be brave to execute, ya Kak ya.
Being confident, yes, it does take I have to say my sons, they know English. They once were not confident. They are now, though, a bit more confident in speaking English. They understand, but they are reluctant to speak. But now they are more likely to speak because I guess we encourage them to always to do presentations in English, to write in English, and yeah, it's something that we can work on no matter at what age we are.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned my English. I know if I say I learned only in Indonesia, that's not true. I've only spent 2 years 2 years in an Indonesian school, and here in Jakarta. So I've never, and I actually university I was here. So actually when I came back from living abroad, I couldn't speak Bahasa Indonesia for a few months, and I only could speak what my parents speak, because when we're abroad, this is the other way around. So when we were abroad, everything is exposed to English and and the language, foreign language. But at home, we always talk Bahasa Indonesia, and we eat Indonesian food. And whenever we have the chance, we watch Indonesian movies, of course. And even when we were living in North Africa once, my father made it possible to bring Majalah Bobo magazine and Femina to where we were living. So we had those magazines always there. So we always try to be exposed to things that are things that you want to be good at and be fluent at. It's I think that's very important.
Okay. So yes. So thank you, Kak Firzi. So yeah, Kak Firzi, maybe can we try the FGD station in here? So maybe Kak Lily and also Kak Dega, Kak Nisa, you guys can try to answer, and also Gandhi to answer and share with us your answer, guys.
Actually, can I make a comment? Just one small comment, and it doesn't have to be another culture. It can be an Indonesian culture. I had a cultural shock, which is when going to Central Java, to Yogyakarta, especially where everything is so slow. That's kind of a cultural shock. So if you have any experience with those type of situation, please do share.
Yeah. So it would be like every cultures, ya Kak.
It doesn't have to be foreign culture.
Yeah. But I mean, I will like to Kak Lily or Gandhi to share your thoughts. Maybe Gandhi. Or Gandhi, do you have thoughts?
We want to hear your story, Gandhi.
Okay.
Culture shock before?
Maybe at school.
I think the answer should be yes. I think I experienced when I was in my grandparents' house, and now my grandmother asked me to buy some kind of rope, and it's Indonesian rope in tali, but my grandmother says it as a Japanese Japanese grass or something. And yeah, I'm just kind of confused about it. I mean, yeah, what does it mean? Do I have to fly to Japan, grab a random piece of grass, and then fly back or something? And then my mother then explained it that it's just it's a kind of some kind of paper rope, and yeah, I just kind of pretty much confused and kind of laugh or something. Then yeah, I just eat it after reading, and yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like they're just a rope, and they turn it into some kind of Japanese grass. Yeah, much weird. Yeah, I'm very shocked about it, and I'm relaxing at that moment. And yeah, I also experience maybe some other culture shock, but yeah, I don't know much. But you know, moving to the second question. Well, I think to deal with it, we just have to to be tolerant and be respectful to each other. Yeah, just try to tell people that you're a nice person. Don't want to harass or doing any bad stuff to their tradition, to their culture and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's all.
Gandhi, can you hear us?
Can you am I audible?
Yeah, your volume is really slow. I mean, like,
it's actually a bit shaking, yeah.
It was choppy, yeah.
But it's okay. Hopefully, at least you try to speak, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and maybe you can, if you want, you can summarize a little bit in the chat box, right? But thank you, Gandhi. Okay. Okay. So, Gandhi, it's actually I a bit curious. Can you please repeat for maybe 2 sentences?
Yeah, we would like to hear.
Yeah, we want to hear.
Oh, okay, it's okay, it's okay. So yeah, experience was pretty much cool. I went to my grandparents' house, and my grandma asked me to buy a rope, some kind of rope at the store. But in Indonesian, rope means tali, but she didn't say it that way. I think she used some kind of weird idiom. She said some kind of Japanese grass or something. He said like, yeah, Japanese grass. Said that weird.
Okay, so I catch Gandhi mentioned about Japanese grandparents, grandmother. Am I right?
Is that like a language barrier?
I think maybe
it's not a language bit. Yeah, it's kind of a language. My grandma asked me to buy a rope, but she used some kind of idiom. Yeah, she said she asked me to buy Japanese rope, or say rumput Jepang, but she actually means me to buy a rope, which is weird for me.
Weird.
Okay.
Okay, so your grandparents asked you to buy the seaweed.
Well, yeah, kind of, but what she's actually trying to say, she asked me to buy a rope, but yeah, I guess not that.
Okay.
Wow. You're such a good person to handle that culture shock too, Gandhi. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Yeah, anytime.
Okay, so here also we have Kak Lily. Kak Lily, would you share your thought? Maybe you ever face like a shock culture and how do you deal with it?
Okay, thank you. First of all, I want to say sorry if my English is bad.
No, me too. We are learning here together, Kak.
Sorry, we're learning here.
Oh, Jungkook is there.
Iya, maybe you're more good at Korean deh.
Yeah.
Upa.
I never get the cultural shock, the very shock in my life because maybe I ever around the world or around in Indonesia just Java, just Java, Jabodetabek. Nah, maybe I have sorry. When I first I in university, I go to Tasikmalaya and I feel like we have some different in culture, like the language. I from Karawang and Sunda in Karawang is what I say, like
it's okay, Kak. I'm from Karawang too. If you wanted to say it in I
yeah.
can.
Yes, Sunda in Karawang.
Karawang fried here is okay.
Yeah, like this. And I don't know that it's bad in Tasikmalaya, and I say that, and I get angry to other people. Like, why you say that? Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's normal in Karawang, but in Tasikmalaya,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, in Tasikmalaya, the people shocked and why you say that? So I deal with it. So I try to speak in Indonesia and I didn't speak in Sunda again because because I because yeah, it's different. Like I worry I make mistake again and make a different perception. Yeah, maybe that's it. And we know that in Karawang or I am in my family from Jakarta. We speak in Jakarta louder, like louder. And in Tasikmalaya, very slow and like this. And when I speak louder, the people like, do you angry with me? Like why you say louder like this? And yeah, something like that. That's it, maybe for me.
Wow, thank you so much, Kalili. But first of all, your English is quite good. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. So yes, yeah, I feel you because Karawang is like the hottest city ever. Yeah, the hottest country ever. So I know that maybe some of us would like say in louder because we are in the in the hot weather. But I do feel you, so it's okay, Kak. Tell to everyone that Karawang is having like a good people in it. Thank you so much, Kaldi, for telling us a thought. And here also there is Kanisa. You wanted to share something?
Yeah, sure. But basically, I have an experience same like Lily, where I came from a central Java in the northern coast. So I have quite strong a Japanese accent back then. I had, and I still have it, and it would be like natural, like that, you know, in Pemalang accent. In we can say like Napak accent. So when I moved to Bandung at Bandung Institute of Tourism, so people there, they came from different ethnicities, and then some of them they speak Sundanese, very strong Sundanese, like very good Sundanese, like very smooth as well. And I was quite shocked because I thought that I was the only one that have super strong accent, just like Karawang people there.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
but it's in Japanese, right? Yeah. but it's Japanese. So I was quite nervous. So for about 1 year, I was super hard to deal with it, like struggling to mingle with them because I feel like a minority. But then I made a friend with some Bataknis, which is actually we got the same frequency. So maybe after 3, and then at the 3rd semester or 4th semester, I made friends with all of them. So basically, it was just it took time for me to absorb the vibes of the people as well. I'm kind of like observer as well, like how to deal with them. I need to observe first. Basically, I'm a people person, but for the first, second period, like maybe in a first semester, second semester, I became an observer first. So it happened as well when I moved to Jakarta and I moved to Bali. So I dealt with different person as well, like different culture. So when I moved to Jakarta for the first full-time job, it was in multinational company. Basically in Jakarta, like Indonesian HQ, everyone is coming from Jakarta, unless the country manager. So he is the only one that is, like the foreigner coming from South Africa. So it was like a culture shock as well, dealing with them. The pace, Jakarta pace is so quick.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah, so fast. Everyone is getting angry every single time.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
nerves, yeah. So I'm kind of like a bit. I was a bit struggling as well for like 6 months, but I made it and then moved again to the another company. So yeah, it's always like that, if you want to take a challenge to take something else, another experience, and you will deal with that. So it's just a matter of time to be observer first, and then you'll get there. So just that kind of.
Thank you so much, Kanisa, Kak Gandhi, and Kak Lily for sharing your thought. I think I know now why God created two ears rather than one mouth. So we could listen first before we trying to talk. So thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your thought because we're running out of time. So I think like everyone coming again to the main room. So I will give the stage to Kafani.
Thank you, Kak Dega. Okay, so yes, everyone. You already finished the curhat session, maybe in the FGD session. Okay, before we go to the representation, can we take picture together and Dina will help us? Okay, guys, please turn on the camera.
Turn your camera, guys.
Yes, Bu Ani, Kak Diki,
maybe
and everyone in here, give your best smile. Denny. Okay.
Maybe Kafani would want to stop the shared screen first. Okay. Kariski, if you don't mind, turn on your camera. Okay, got it. Okay, guys, I'll count in 3, yeah, guys. I'll take the picture in 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, second style. Freestyle. Let's go, guys. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. So yes, hopefully you're not sleepy yet, yeah. We still have a representation time. So maybe from the group 1, we have Dewi group. Dewi, you can pick one name from your group. And please answer the question maybe in short in quick and short answered, guys. Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. I thought it will be Kak Wulan group, you mean, Van?
Yes, Kak Wulan group.
Thank you, Kak. Well, in my group, there is Kak Dewi, Kak Ai, Kak Mus, and Dennis, and we have a lot of fun to share. And I just amazed what their experiences with the culture. And we need more time, but we just have to join in the main room. So I have to choose one. So I want to choose Kak Dennis for this time. Please, Kak Dennis, share your thought about it.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes. Actually, I want to sum up some information from my friends. Basically, we got a lot of culture shocks based on, let's say, lifestyle and superstitious and things like that. And I personally will say, when I was doing a community service back then in college, in Jogja, so in this very small town, I was very shocked that people live very not very traditional, but also something that I've never got before, back in my hometown, and it's very interesting, especially when you have to be more humble and never thought about that before. And I think shaking hands a lot is very common in the village. Yes, because in my hometown in Jayapura, we don't really shake hand that much. We just say hello or whatever. But when I was there, I have to shake all the time to the man in the room. So yes, and also I think the superstitious things, we talk about how we respect their customs and the traditional items there. So yeah, I think that's what I got from the conversation. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kak Dennis. Okay, shaking hands. Because of the pandemic, we need to stay in touch, yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay. So yes, thank you, Kak Wulan group. Now we move to Kak Yiyin group. Kak Yiyin, you can pick up one person.
Okay. So thank you so much, Kak Fani, for the time. So in my group, there is Kak Yogi, and Kak Arif, and Pak Yayan, Kak Diki, and one left. Yeah. Okay. It's already on the chat. So I will pick one of those participants. I will say Kak Yogi for the representative of this group. Okay. Times is your Kak Yogi.
Okay, thank you, Kak Yin. Yeah, the whole member already shared about their answer, yeah, about this question. Yeah, the most memorable is, I think, is about the whole is very impressive, yeah, for me. And I think the thing that I want to say is about the Kak Diki, yeah. He answer is very unique, I think. He shared about the culture in Britzone. Okay, I don't know why he shared about like this, because this Britzone is very supportive, very positively, and can help us to grow to be better person, especially in English. Yeah, that's not shock situation. That I think that's a very very positive feedback for the Britzone. Yeah, I think that's important to be shared. And for Miss Arif and Miss also for Mr. Arif and Kak siapa lagi satu lagi lupa. Yeah, they share about the different culture in other city, ya, Tasikmalaya and their current city, and there are different shop in there. And for my experience, this is for my personal experience, yeah, to be facing in the shock situation. This is just happened to me. I recently moved to the new company with have a totally different culture. because my background is IT consultant in Japanese company. Okay, I'm the IT consultant. So the Japanese culture is really density in there. They very concerned about the quality of the product, the creation, or the project that we deliver. And I work in that company approximately 8 years. And last year, I decided to resign from that company because I got an offer from the startup. The reason why I accepted the offer because the startup become very corporate for this youth generation. I just curious why the startup become favorite in their in current youth generation, and uh, I think that I can develop if I work in startup, and I can get the different perspective to work in this company. Yeah, the story is different. This totally different, especially for the culture. For example, Japanese company, they very concerned about the document. If there's document that we wrong input for the sentence or for the words, they really didn't want to approve it. Yeah, we have to revise it by times. And this startup was different company, fast pace and profit is number one. Okay, that's okay if you deliver a few wrong mistake, as long as you give clarification for your customer, for an investor. Yeah, that's okay. As long as you can give the profit for the company. Yeah, that's no problem. Of course, there are after that there are future impact. Yeah, if we not get the complete the document. Yeah, we cannot trust the history of the document because the content have possibility wrong. Yeah, that's very tough for me. I think until now. Yeah, yeah, the startup is very just like that. As long as we can give the profit.
Okay, so thank you Kak Yogi for sharing. Okay, so yeah, maybe the last group, Kak Ezra group, you can pick one name.
Okay.
Kak Ezra.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Fanny. So yeah, actually my group consists of Mr. Zaki, Rahul, Dian, and Denny. But yeah, unfortunately, while we are sharing our stories, the session the time has run out. So maybe if there is still Dian, maybe you can. Dian, hello Dian, are you there? Oh, looks like he already left. Maybe Denny, hello Denny.
Other name.
Yeah, maybe Denny, hello Denny, or Rahul, hello Rahul.
Just Rahul.
Oh, sir, yes, already gone. Okay, okay, Denny, maybe you can go represent our group.
It's just my group for our group, Ezra.
Yes, yes, Denny, you can represent our group.
So you can do the shared experience.
Yes.
Experience. You can have to do my. You can do my a job experience. What is my experience? I had my first job as an entrepreneur. For this the entrepreneur situation, the situation is only like the introducing for the job internship. As a any experience, any kind of the experience of job, and the second for the both of the internships for the as a first time that I had to do some work in pairs, the work in pairs, as a as well as the freelance graphic designer from now on until since 2021. 2021, like we said, we had for the for the experience, for the job applications, what kind of applied job where can apply where can apply that was the online for the internet. So the experience of jobs, what have or what kind of bill for the future job, what have so what happen, what you gonna do next. I think that's all. Thank you for Ezra.
Thank you, Denny. And maybe back to you, Fanny.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you everyone. So from the groups we can conclude, we can summarize if culture shock it's wide, right? I mean it could be happen in changing career, it could be like a culture shock that Kaden is facing. Yeah, so maybe before we go to the last session, the Q&A session, maybe Kak Firzi, you can choose which of the groups that is interest you. I mean, attract you maybe.
Oh, I think all of them have equally something unique to present. One thing that I was actually very curious about was the cultural shock of superstition, and I think that was Dennis, right? Was that Dennis? Yeah, I wish he would elaborate more on the cultural shock of superstition, and I mean that's a very interesting, because Americans they're not very superstitious. They are of some sort. So I'm actually very curious in that perspective, and it does show that in all aspects of life there is some limit of cultural shock. I found that I wish that Dennis would elaborate more on, or that he would tell us a little bit about the cultural shock in a superstitious from that aspect. So that was what kind of intrigued me, and I wish that he would like a little bit more elaborate a little bit on it. But I know time is a constraint, but yeah, I would like to just hear a little bit more on that, if possible.
Okay, thank you, Kak Firzi. Now, guys, we enter the last session of tonight. Thank you for 2 hours sitting down with us. So maybe I will open only 3 questions, guys. Okay, so if you want to ask directly, you can raise hand. Kak Ai, okay, yes, Kak Ai.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Actually, I had written in the chat box, but maybe I can say it directly. Kak Firzi, thank you very much for your sharing here. I would like to ask about, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's the common questions. Have you or do you ever think bored with your, what is it? Your environment, or maybe you ever think of to run away, or maybe just like quit from your comfort zone? Or yeah, that's my questions for you, Kak Firzi. Thank you very much.
That is a very good question, actually. And do I ever feel like quitting? Sometimes, yes. Do I feel ever get bored? Yes, it's human, I think. For no matter how interesting your job is, there's always that question, are you bored? Yes, I am. But the thing is with how you deal with boredom, and how do you feel when you feel like quitting? What do you do? Do you see other things, and how on earth how do you overcome that boredom? And I think there is always a way to kill boredom by doing other stuff that you like. And there actually, during my 22 years, I kind of did apply for other jobs. But mind you that the other jobs that I applied for is usually a multicultural environment. It is always something that I think intrigues me, and that multicultural environment, I think, always puts me out of my comfort zone, because from one culture to another, there's always a little bit of challenge. Even no matter how small it is, it's always a challenge. I like hearing was it Gandhi's story about cultural shock, but more of a generation shock when he told about his grandmother, I think. And that's what I think is not just about different cultures, but also working with people that are different age. It's also can be a shock. So no matter, it's how you think, it's how I think you place oneself in a situation where you're bored and you feel like quitting. Do I really want to quit, or is this temporary? And how can I make the situation, the boredom situation, make it a challenge for me? And how can I overcome that so that I can turn around that boredom into something that is challenging for me? And actually, the challenging situation is when I'm bored, what do I do to make it my life more interesting?
Yeah, because sometimes we always questioning, right, in our head, like work or something like that. And sometimes maybe for a while we think to not quit maybe, but think to exploring again about our skill, something else. And maybe you ever do something
like exploring other skills. Sorry, I think my connection somehow.
Like exploring the other part, maybe the other field, or maybe just maybe you want to know about the other field that may be different with your work every day you do.
That's actually, I've been doing that all along my career, I think. Finding something else to do. I think I told you in the beginning that I have a computer science degree. So I work first as an IT help desk. So I was an IT engineer, and I kind of got bored troubleshooting IT issues, and so I said that this will not be enough, and I need something else to do, and I need to develop myself. So guess what? What I did is I took a master's degree, and master's degree not across the field, across something that I actually hated so much during my bachelor years is economy. And I took a master's of management because I felt that something it will be beneficial for me. First of all, I think it would be beneficial for me in my career. And second is something that I don't really like. And when you plunge into something that you don't really like, you challenge yourself to always make it interesting. So I've been doing that, I think, for the duration of my career. Is when you get bored, find something else. I got tired of being an IT person. I do something else, like starting my master's degree, and that took me 2 years. And after my master's degree, I took on English speaking club. I find these things that are challenging. So find something interesting to do. There's always something out there, always challenging things to do. Not necessarily in your job. I met Anissa in a dancing class. So I danced since I was little, but I've never danced since I was in I finished high school. And then after I got bored with jobs that I have to do, I attend dancing classes. So there's always try to find something that challenges you. I started dancing, traditional dancing, that is, but I did a bit of hip hop too. So I try to do a bit of everything and always find something different, and usually something that you don't like in the beginning, and then at the end that you really like. I to tell you the truth, I hate doing makeup on myself, but when you dance, you have to put on makeup. You have to learn how to do makeup on your own, because no one's going to make you. No one's going to be able to do that for you when you perform. So I learned how to do makeup, and now I'm actually a consultant for my sister and my family for makeup stuff. Something that I was very tomboyish about in my high school years. Now I've become the go-to person for my for these makeup products and what to use and how to to apply makeup on your face. So it's always, there's always something there out there challenging. You have to find it. Always go with what you don't like, because who knows, you might really love it.
Anissa, may I have one question anymore, please?
Okay. Okay. By the way, Kai, before that, can we ask first, guys? Do you have any other question? Mhm.
I think Gandhi
Okay, Kak Dega. Okay. So yes, maybe Kak Ai, you can go first, and then Kak Dega.
Okay, thank you very much again. Firzi, did your environment really help you or maybe support you for your educations, or kind of the board situations, like maybe when you want to try another things, like education, something else, that they really support you to do that? Thank you very much. Like the other advantages for your upskill.
Okay, so do you mean like a support from my work, or support from family, or support from
Your work, in your
my
environment?
work?
Yes,
my work
like
environment.
from you, maybe for your embassy, like what kind of the support they do for you?
I would say that they are my work environment has always been supportive, and that's why I kind of like working there. They when they did my master's degree, and I have to say that it doesn't happen to everyone, to my colleagues, and so I can't speak on behalf of them or on behalf of the institution, but for me it happened so that they paid for my master's. Not all, not full scholarship, but it was half of it, and I was very grateful for that. So again, when I tried to find something that I don't like to do, okay, I have to do my master's degree. I said, I'm going to take economics. And this is what I'm going to say to my employer, is that this will benefit, the fact that I am taking my master's degree in economics will benefit you as the company because of so and so and so. So I had to make a whole proposal, of course. And that again is going out of my comfort zone. How do I make a proposal so that it is so attractive, so that you're right, Firzi, we're going to pay for your institution, because you know what? We're going to pay for your education, because you know what? Because what you're doing right now and what you're going to become after you graduate will be so helpful for us. So try in every situation, I think, no matter who your employer is, try to always bring that mindset that, try to find something that is challenging, and always that saying in whatever you do, it will always support the company you're working for. And since I do dancing, and actually traditional dancing is a big part of my life right now, and I don't know how that became, because I danced as a kid, and I was hiatus in the middle where I had 2 children, and then I didn't do any dancing. Then I started dancing in my 40s. So I started to do a bit of serious traditional dancing again in my 40s. And actually, what happened is that I danced for several occasions at the office. I do performances for several of their events. Yeah. So it has been really, really supportive, and I think I'm very lucky to have such a supporting environment.
Kak Ai, hopefully it will answer the question. Okay.
So much. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So Kak Dega maybe will be the last question.
Okay. So thank you so much, Kak Fani, for the opportunity. Kak Firzi, I actually have a question, but I think like your answer would help me to think about this perspective. So if you have a choice, if you have a chance to, if you ever face to choose between a high salary or a comfort environment work, what will you choose and why?
That is a good question, because I did experience that, and I think the answer is you can be who you are. You can not stress out in life. I think that is important. And comparing to a high salary, I think especially when you have reached my age, especially that, what else is there to look in life, especially, and I think what's more important is the environment that you work with and the people that you work with. Imagine if you did earn a lot of money, a high salary paying job, but then you can't sleep, right? You can't sleep. You have deadlines to meet. I work for a government. I'm a civil servant, pegawai negeri, although for a different company, and there's work is very stable. There's hours that we call it quits. 4 we're off, and it's something that it's not really, it doesn't earn you a lot of money. We're not paid in dollars or anything, but it does provide a very supportive and a good environment. So out of high paying job and a comfortable place to work, I would definitely pick a comfortable place to work. I had an interview at one of the embassy also. I will not mention where, and they did offer a high paying salary, but when I saw the job description, it was everything that you have to do, from actually driving, and to taking care of the building, and to meeting vendors. So I said, this is a lot to do. And it was like a 40% increase from the salary. But I thought about having a comfortable and a nice environment to work with. I definitely chose the latter.
Thank you so much, Kak Firzi. That was so insightful.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Hopefully it will help you to make decision, Kak Dega. Okay.
I think Gandhi previously raised his hand as well. He said he has typed his question in the chat box, but I couldn't see. So Gandhi.
Okay, yes. Okay, Gandhi. So this is special for you, yeah. So this is the last question, Gandhi. So before you can ask Kak Firzi directly.
Hi, Gandhi.
Okay, hold on. Am I?
You're a bit choppy. You're breaking up.
No. What now?
You're still breaking up.
Hold on. How now?
Did you type your question? Let me check.
Yeah. It's in the chat.
Oh, here it is. Oh, you private messaged me. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay. I'm still curious about Kak Firzi's job. Okay. Hey, Kak Firzi, is there any security standard to join in every powerful country like the US? You mean joining to work for the Americans? For
Yes.
the American government? Is there a security standard? There is some level of security standard, but you will know if you pass the interview and the other layers of what is required. But I think it's like in every company, Gandhi, there is always a standard, a security standard, and maybe some more than the others, definitely. But there's definitely, and like in every company that you join, one day, if you work, there is usually a security standard. There's usually some things that they would like to know about your background, like who are you frequenting, what clubs are you part of, what political parties are you part of. They ask all those kind of questions. And you know what? For one thing, now it's easier. They probably might not ask you a lot of questions in a security point of view, because they can stalk your Instagram, or they can stalk your LinkedIn account, or your your Facebook account. So yeah, there must be a security standard for every company that you might join in the future. And I know that some employers are not shy in doing and stalking your social media account. That I can say. So be careful what you
Alright.
post.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, thank you Kanisa to remind. Okay, yes. So Gandhi, don't always upload all the games, yeah. Maybe something more important or build curiosity, maybe. Okay, it will be track record. Okay, so yes. So yes, guys, thank you so much. Yay, we already passed 2 hours, not 2.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Kak Firzi, for your time. It's such an honor for us, yeah.
Thank you. It is my pleasure. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, time flies when you're having fun, and this is exactly the perfect phrase for that. So thank you for having me. Actually, I had a lot of fun.
Yay. Thank you, Kak Firzi.
This is very interesting. Yeah.
Yes, because
You're
I love
mostly welcome.
the multicultural situations.
Yeah, I would have actually would be curious to enter each of the FGD rooms to hear what everyone is saying. I think that would be wow. I know time is a constraint, but you know, it would be more. I'm actually very curious of what people had to say about the cultural shock. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and multicultural is always a very interesting topic.
Yes, I really want to working in the multicultural environment too, because I ever have it, but just 6 months. So I really want to apply again in multicultural working.
Okay. Thank
I
you,
wish you luck.
Kak. Good luck.
Yes, good
Thank
luck,
you.
good luck, good luck, good luck, and I hope, yeah, I hope you succeed.
I mean, thank you, Firzi. So yeah, happy for you all. Success for you all too.
Okay, thank you Kanisa for inviting Kak Firzi.
Yes, thank you, Nisa.
Yes, thank you for being the bridger. Okay, guys, if you still have the question, you can type on the WhatsApp group, yeah, guys. Okay, yes, so have a good rest. Thank you so much. You can join the Britzone class on Saturday.
See you.